This show is brought to you by Safety FM.
The following program is rated MA-LSV. It contains strong language, sexual situations, and violence. It is intended only for mature audiences.
Finally, show with the balls to call it like it is. Rated R Safety Show on Safety FM.
Countdown to audio torture.
The Rated R Safety Show starts in 3, 2, 1.
Let the eardrum pain begin.
Forget the corporate bullshit. This is the Rated R Safety Show with your host, Dr. It doesn't matter who the host is.
Well. It does not matter who the host is. Today's Wednesday, June the 2nd of 2021, day 153 of the year, and only 212 days left to go. I don't know. Let's just do this. Let's do this. We need some music in the background or something. Matter of fact, let's change the music. Let's go some dream. Anyway, so we are broadcasting live from the Safety FM studios in Orlando, Florida, coming across the multiverse of Safety FM. You know, that thing that we do there and hang out and all that kind of fun stuff. So I hope things are going grand and spectacular inside of your neck of the woods, because I never know what's going on your end. I think you kind of know what's going on mine, because I tend to blab a lot, but that's okay. I think that's okay. But I would need to know more about you, not so much about me, but you kind of already know that as we do talk. Probably I should mention the other place, because if I don't mention it, they might get slightly upset that we're not talking about them. So let's talk about that other place we hang out on.
Radio Big. Streaming 24/7 at radiobig.fm.
So there you go. That's radiobig.fm, our sister station that we hang out on. Anyway, so long day scheduled ahead today. Man, I got a class that runs till, or let me rephrase that. I'm partnering up on a class that runs till about 1 a.m. my time, so I can't wait for that. Some exciting stuff going on the other end of the world as we're locked up on this side. So let me tell you about what's going on inside of the world of what's going on with books. I mean, I can't even believe it's already Wednesday, but then again, this is what happens when you have a holiday weekend. So there you go. Let's talk about the top 5 nonfiction and fiction category, currently according to the New York Times bestseller list. So taking it from the very top in the fiction category at number 5, 21st Birthday. Boy, was that a long time ago. Number 4, Where's the Crawdads Sing? Okay, number 3, Project Hail Mary. Number 2, Sully. And at number 1, The Last Thing He Told Me. Oh, that's what she said. Okay, so let's go into the top 5 according to the New York Times bestseller, according to the nonfiction category. What Happened to You at number 5? At number 4, Noise. You know, what I'm making right now. At number 3, Killing the Mob. Oh, that's a good title. At number 2, Zero Fail. You know, not one fail, but zero fail. And then, here we go. At number 1, John Green and the Anthropocene. So there you go. That's what's going on according to the book categories. I don't know. I always feel like we're missing music in the background. Maybe this is the way to go. I don't know. So anyways, let's get us to our friends at the feature of the story of the news and let them tell you what's going on, because I think it's always important when they say what they have to say, and then we'll continue with my typical nonsense.
Here is the news on the Rated R Safety Show.
Ollie Barrett. The world's largest meat supplier has fallen victim to a cyber attack affecting operations in the US, Canada and Australia. The White House says Brazilian company JBS believes a criminal enterprise likely based in Russia is behind the hack, as Jagruti Dave reports from FSN Washington.
The White House's principal deputy press secretary, Karine Jean-Pierre, said the FBI is investigating the ransomware attack and that the US had raised the issue with Moscow. JBS supplies beef, pork and chicken to countries around the world, including the US, where several of its facilities had to pause some of their operations after the company's computer networks were targeted. In a statement, JBS said it suspended all the affected systems and that a resolution will take time, which may delay certain transactions with customers and suppliers. Last month, America's largest fuel pipeline was subject to a cyber attack, raising concerns about the vulnerability of the country's critical infrastructure.
The US is to halt oil and gas leases in the Alaska Arctic National Wildlife Refuge. The suspension is pending an environmental review and reverses President Trump's decision to sell oil leases in the refuge. The UK is expected to hit the milestone later of having given 3/4 of adults a COVID-19 vaccine dose. It comes after 0 COVID deaths were reported in the last 24-hour period for the first time since the pandemic began. However, some scientists say the next phase of easing restrictions in England due on June the 21st should be delayed because of the spread of the India variant. Education Secretary Gavin Williamson says the government hasn't made final decisions.
The vaccines are having an impact in terms of actually reducing transmission, reducing the number of people in hospital. And it's these factors that are going to guide the decision. But we need to continue to urge people to be cautious and to be careful. It's promising what we've seen in terms of 0 deaths, but we can't be complacent.
There are growing fears in the state of Victoria in Australia about COVID transmission in settings not seen before. The state's Chief Health Officer, Brett Sutton, says the new variant is moving faster than any other strain the department's dealt with. Sean Bindley reports.
Jane Holton, a key advisor to Australia's federal government, says she's worried about an absence of best practice after Victoria's current outbreak was linked to a breach of quarantine in the neighbouring state of South Australia. But the head of Australia's Health Department, Professor Brendan Murphy, told a parliamentary committee that she may be overstating the case.
All of the states and territories have said at HPPC that they have done everything that was recommended by Jane Holton. What I think she may be referring to is occasionally there are slips into a human behaviour occurs.
From bureaus worldwide, this is FSN.
With FSN Spotlight, I'm Simon Marks, looking today at the pressure building on governments that have successfully rolled out vaccination programs to combat COVID-19, now to do more for those countries that have not. It is a very live issue, particularly in the United States, where vaccines are now available for anyone over the age of 12, and also in Britain, host of this week's G7 summit. 100 lawmakers there are backing a so-called one-in, one-out plan that would see the UK donate a dose of vaccine to other countries via the international COVAX programme for every dose that it buys for use at home. Kara is Access to Medicine's advisor at Save the Children.
The COVAX facility that is being referred to, that has delivered about 72 million doses to about 120 countries. To put that in the grand scheme of things, that's just under 0.3% of the doses administered globally. And just to say that in terms of the bulk of where that supply is coming for that facility to ensure global supply, with what we've seen with India and some of the export controls on the vaccine, that structure has come to a halt. And the only way to resume those doses and to resume those flow of vaccines is for high-income countries to donate the doses that they have.
Prime Minister Boris Johnson, hosting that G7 meeting, says he wants agreement from other leaders to vaccinate everyone everywhere by the end of 2022. With FSN Spotlight, I'm Simon Marks.
And to recap the top stories, the world's largest meat suppliers fallen victim to a cyber attack. The US is to halt oil and gas leases in the Alaska Arctic National Wildlife Refuge. The UK is expected to hit the milestone later of having given 3/4 of adults a COVID-19 vaccine dose. And there are growing fears in the Australian state of Victoria about COVID transmission in settings not seen before. That's the latest feature story news from London. Ollie Barrett reporting.
Bringing you information you never knew you cared about. Rated R Safety Show.
I spend a lot of time in the backyard, and I'm the center of attention at summer barbecues. In 96, I made some of the tastiest s'mores. And in 09, it was me, your backyard fire pit, that accidentally started a wildfire when a summer breeze carried one of my embers into some dry brush.
Spark a change, not a wildfire. Visit SmokeyBear.com. Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
My name is Lola Silvestri, and I'm going to be 95 this year. I was very independent. I fell, and I had to have Meals on Wheels. America, let's do lunch.
1 in 6 seniors faces the threat of hunger, and millions more live in isolation. Drop off a hot meal and say a quick hello. Volunteer for Meals on Wheels by donating your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org. This message brought to you by Meals on Wheels America and the Ad Council.
Hey everyone, let's all stop what we're doing and take a moment. You see, every moment can be kind of special. But they could be loud moments, goofy moments, dorky moments, it doesn't matter. Because every time dads like us take a moment like that to spend with our kids, well, it's pretty momentous. So let's take a moment to make a moment. Call 877-4DAD-411 or visit fatherhood.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
Welcome to Calvin's Barbershop.
You all got to see this.
I don't even want to know what you're looking at on that phone.
Well, you should. I was learning about the dangers of high blood pressure and that we need to get ours checked regularly. High blood pressure can increase the risk of heart attack or stroke, but this text program can help keep it at a healthy range. Just text Barbershop to 97779 to sign up.
I'll get right on it as soon as I'm done with this baby panda video.
Text Barbershop to 97779. A message from the American Heart Association and the Ad Council.
It's important to plan ahead for emergencies, like the storm. When it kicked in, we had a plan.
Separated.
We were able to get in touch with each other in no time.
Idea how to find each other.
The whole experience was fine.
The most frightening 10 hours of my life.
If there's one piece of advice I'd offer other moms out there, it's to stay calm and keep to the plan.
Message.
Some parents plan ahead, some don't. Make sure you know where to find your family in an emergency. Start your plan at ready.gov. Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
Support for Safety FM is brought to you by Manscaped, who is the best in men's below-the-waist grooming champions of the world. Manscaped offers precision-engineered tools for your family jewels. Manscaped just launched their 4th-generation trimmer, the Lawnmower 4.0. You heard that right, the 4.0. Join over 2 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped with the exclusive offer for you. 20% off and free worldwide shipping with the code SAFETY at manscaped.com. Imagine shaving with a sleek, well-designed, and optimized trimmer that makes shaving time your favorite time in the bathroom. I'm one of the first people to try the new 4.0, and I'm blown away by the performance. The craftsmanship and the detail on the 4.0 are next level. You know, more times of actually handling blades and becoming a bloody mess, if you know what I'm saying there. Manscaped engineered the ultimate growing and body trimmer by focusing on intelligent functionality and incredible, comfortable grooming experience. The 4th-generation trimmer features a cutting-edge ceramic blade to reduce grooming accidents thanks to their advanced skin-safe technology. This upgraded trimmer includes a multifunction on-off switch that can engage a travel lock. It also gives the ability to turn the 4000K LED spotlight on and off when needed for some precise shave. The Lawnmower 4.0 even allows you to customize your trim throughout additional guards, lengths with sizes 1 through 4. Did I mention that it's wireless charging? Yeah, not a joke here. The new wireless charging system uses electromagnetic induction, which can help battery length last longer. Men, if you've been shaving with the same nut trimmer on your face, you've been doing it wrong. No person wants to end up with pubes in their mouth. It's time to get your own ball hair and body trimmer with Manscaped to make me time the best time and enhance your confidence with some nice, smooth boys. Get 20% off and free shipping with code SAFETY at manscaped.com. Your balls will thank you. Get 20% off and free shipping with code SAFETY at manscaped.com. That's 20% off with free shipping at manscaped.com and use code SAFETY. Unlock your confidence and always use the right tools for the job with Manscaped.
You are listening to something magical. You're listening to the Rated R Safety Show.
Okay, 15 minutes past the top of the hour. A lot of stuff going on this morning as we are talking real quick on the things that are going on, that's for sure. So let's get into it. By the way, before I forget, did you realize that on Feature Story News, they did mention Brett Sutton? Yeah, that's the guy that hosts the show here. Just in case him, Glennis McCarthy, and Brett Robinson giving us the information that goes on inside of the world of learning teams. So there you go. Yeah. A little bit of everywhere, it sounds like. So let's continue talking about some things that are going on top of the hit list, because that's going to be the important part as we go. I keep on going. Should we go back to the music? Should we go back? I'm always fascinated by music. Let's. Maybe a little? Oh, that's way too much. Hold on. So there you go. A 7-year-old boy saved his dad and a younger sister by swimming a mile to get help over Memorial Day weekend. Chase Prowse and his 4-year-old sister, Abigail, were swimming along with their dad in a boat in Florida when a strong current forced Abigail to lose hold of the boat. Chase tried to grab her, but he ended up getting stuck himself. His dad, Stephen Prowse, jumped into the water to save him, telling Chase to swim to shore while he went after Abigail, who was being carried by a current. Once he reached the shore, Chase called for help. The Jacksonville Fire and Rescue Department and the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office eventually spotted Stephen and Abigail. Stephen and Abigail about after an hour after the event. Sorry about that. My phone threw me off. When asked how he had become so strong swimmer, he said, "I have no idea." Good question there, I guess, to ask the kid on how he became such a strong swimmer. But hey, you have to keep it real, my friends. Keep it real on the things that are going on. That's for sure. I don't know. Is this going to be too techno-ish? I don't know. I guess I'm going to have to kill it. Okay, kill the music. Okay, cool. So let's continue talking about some other things, about some other stuff going on. A highly contagious COVID-19 variant has emerged in India and is spreading rapidly now in the U.S. The B1617.2 variant now makes up 7% of new cases. The WHO reported last week that it accounted for only about 1% of cases at the beginning of May. 2 doses of either Pfizer or AstraZeneca vaccine give an effective protection against the variant, according to the UK study that was published last month. So what happened with Moderna? Nothing there? Nothing about Johnson & Johnson? I'm just asking the question. So why do those not seem to do the trick?
Duh.
Just a question, of course, because that's what we have to do. We have to ask questions about the different things that are going on. Anyways, major cities across the U.S. grappled with high numbers of shootings over the holiday weekend. There were 10 murders in Houston between Friday afternoon and Monday evening, while officers in Chicago reported 3 deaths and 27 people suffering from gunshot wounds. There were more than half a dozen shootings in New Orleans, and that left 3 dead, including 12-year-old, and at least 12 injured. New York reported 20 shootings from over the weekend and 26 wounded and 7 deaths. Crime analysts and experts predict that the summer could be just as bad, if not worse, than last year as shootings and murders started earlier than usual. Meanwhile, former D.C. homicide detective Ted Williams said that Americans are suffering as violent crimes surge amid the defund the police movement. Now, of course, that's the words of Ted Williams going on there. But, it's kind of hard, and I'm not agreeing with anything here or saying otherwise, but, I mean, you can't say, hey, the numbers are higher than what you were last year in regards to shootings when everybody was locked up. Just some stuff to think about. But the defunding of the police thing, I still have more questions than answers. We've been talking about that for some time now. That's for sure. So let's continue talking about some other things. A new study found that a significant amount of dogs put on extra pounds while hanging out with their families during the pandemic. According to a survey of 1,000 dog owners conducted by pumpkin pet insurance. 36% of people gained weight during the pandemic. I think some of us still have and have not lost that weight. That's a whole other story. That's mostly applying to me. As for has contributed to a gain of 45% of pet owners' weight. Said that they have gained extra pounds because they've given their dogs extra treats, while 41% admitted to be giving them scraps from the table. Oh, my. Also, 56% of owners said that their canine companion gained weight when they did. On the flip side, 66% of owners reported that their dogs became active during the pandemic. Please show me those dog owners, because I'm definitely intrigued by that. Anyway, so let me get you into some other stuff inside of here real quick. And I think that what we need to talk about is, well, not Motivation Minute, but we need to talk about the market beat and what is going on right there. So let's get you some Johnny Smalls over here, and he'll tell you what's going on with the market, and then I'll tell you what I got. So let's bring in Johnny Smalls. Maybe.
Here's your Market Beat Minute for Wednesday, June 2nd, 2021. U.S. stocks ended mixed on Tuesday, pairing earlier gains as weakness in technology stocks offset gains made in energy, materials, and financials as investors continue to monitor inflation fears. Treasury yields ticked up as the benchmark 10-year Treasury yield hovered above 1.6%. Investors are waiting to receive a number of new economic data reports about the U.S. labor market, including the May jobs report on Friday, as it signals whether the economy is getting closer to the Federal Reserve's goal of achieving maximum employment before pulling back on monetary policy support. Economists expect to see about 674,000 jobs created in May. Most agree inflation is upon us, while there seems to be some disagreement on the duration and the extent of higher prices. The result of supply shortages and recovering demand could force the Federal Reserve to hike interest rates and curb asset purchases sooner, and you can expect the market to react should that occur. You can get the inside track at marketbeatminute.com.
Okay, here's some more info on the backside here. So there you go. Wall Street started the new trading week with mixed finishes of the major indexes. The Dow added about 45 points, while the Nasdaq dipped about 12, and the S&P lost about 2 points. Tuesday's session was strong in the beginning, but inflation fears caused stocks to recede. The Purchasing Managers Index for the month of May was higher than expected. Boeing gained about 3% after the company was upgraded to rating of outperformed. So there you go. That's some stuff. That's some inside Iggy's, if you wanted to know that. So there you go. Some info inside of there. Anyways, the world's largest beef supplier, as we were talking at the beginning of the hour, has hit with ransomware attack threatening some of the meat supply in the U.S. JBS. Yes, that's JBS. One of the world's largest international meat processors was hacked on Sunday, the company said in an email yesterday. The company maintains about 11 beef processing facilities in Australia and 26 chicken processing plants in the U.S. The hack comes less than 4 weeks after a similar one by Russian criminals against the Colonial Pipeline, forcing it shut down activity for about a week. So there you go. Some information inside of there to add into some other nonsense that is going on, because that's what we do here.
More sarcasm than a Mortal Kombat beatdown. Rated R, safety show.
Okay, so this has been making the circles as well. Moderna has asked FDA for full approval of its COVID-19 vaccine in Americans 18 and older. Full approval would allow the company to market the vaccine directly to consumers and continue to sell the vaccine after the U.S. is no longer in an official state of emergency. Pfizer applied for full approval of the vaccine last month. The approval process is expected to take months. So there you go. Some information there. I don't know. So it is 23 minutes past the hour. I don't know. Yesterday we missed it again because I tend on screwing this up. Should we do it yet, or should Motivation Minute, or should we hang on for a couple of moments before we continue with that? Let's continue. A man in China has been infected with the world's first human case of the H1N3 strain of bird flu. Yeah, that's H1N3 strain of bird flu. So the 41-year-old man was hospitalized on April the 28th after developing a fever and other symptoms. He was diagnosed with H1N3 last Friday, but in a stable condition and will be heading home this week. While it's unclear how the man contracted the virus, health officials believe that it was a case of accidental cross-species transmission. They also noted that the risk of community transmission is low. Worth noting, in January of 2020, Wuhan health authorities said the new pneumonia, which was now known as COVID-19, also has a low risk of person-to-person transmission. I mean, I don't know. That's just something that happened at the time. I can't say anything. I'm not that level of astute when it comes to that kind of information. What? What did you just say?
You are listening to something magical. You're listening to the Rated R Safety Show.
Okay, Jasmine Harton, the socialite daughter-in-law of the British billionaire Lord Michael Ashcroft, confessed to accidentally killing Bezies officer after she was threatened with cocaine charges. She had initially told officers in St. Pedro's, the superintendent of Henry Germont, that she had by passing someone by a boat. Then she refused to comment more until the authorities told her that she would be charged with cocaine possession. Harton told the officers that she had been given Germont a massage while they were drinking together on the pier and accidentally shot him with the service Glock pistol. He fell on top of her, and as she panicked to get him off, he fell into the water. Sources from the police station noted that the charges Harton faces manslaughter by negligence rarely carries a prison sentence. Oh my, I don't even know what to say now.
Oops, what did he just say?
We at Safety FM don't always agree with the viewpoints of our hosts and guests.
Now back to real safety talk on Safety FM.
Okay, so let's continue with some information that we were talking about yesterday. The SUV that was used by 3 gunmen in a mass shooting outside of a concert near Miami was found submerged in a canal that is known for a notorious dumping ground to locals. Officers believe that the shooting, which killed 2 and wounded 21, was connected to an ongoing rivalry between 2 groups. $130,000 reward is being offered for information that leads to an arrest on what is going on that one. So that's pretty interesting. I don't know, kind of a weird story there. That is for sure. So before we do the next thing, let's do Motivation Minute. I want to do Motivation Minute because I totally botched it yesterday and totally missed it. So let's do that right now.
The Motivation Minute is courtesy of BetterCreditCards.com. Today's quote has been submitted by Sandy. Aristotle said, "We are what we repeatedly do." Excellence, then, is not an act, but a habit. I love this. Thanks for submitting this quote, Sandy. It's an excellent reminder that we determine many of the things in our own lives. I can choose to eat healthy or not. I can choose to take the stairs or the elevator. I can choose to find the closest parking spot or a distant parking spot that includes a little more exercise. Now, with each of the decisions that we just talked about, the outcome will change who I am just a little bit. But if I choose that path over and over, it will make a major difference. So make good choices repeatedly. This has been today's Motivation Minute, courtesy of BetterCreditCards.com. I'm John Small. Thanks for listening. Your favorite quotes can be submitted for upcoming programs at motivationminute.org.
Okay, so that's Johnny Smalls from our afternoon drive show on Radio Big.FM. That's from the John and Heidi show. Thank you for that. I always think that people need to be motivated. I don't know if it's first thing in the morning, but need to be motivated as we do talk around here. So this news story for the Maine is probably going to be a weird one, but probably we should get to it just for the sake of doing so. Maybe we should do that now, 28 minutes past the top of the hour.
Here is our main story on the Rated R Safety Show.
So let's go in through this. Have you ever been, Accelerousal? What is it? Accelerousal. Yeah. Have you ever had Accelerousal? Have you heard about this? This has kind of been making the scenes as of yesterday. As people have been talking about this and been really going and taking some deep dives into this one. So it's not really a term that you're probably not it's not it's probably a new term. Let's start off with that. But it is something that you're familiar with. Listen to it. Accelerousal. It sounds kind of dirty. I mean, let's be realistic. Accelerousal. What do you think when I mention that? What comes to mind right away? So let's talk about this. Does the drive to work leave you in a bad mood all day long? Is road rage a thing for you? If so, you may be dealing with a case of accelerousal. So let me explain this. According to research from the University of Houston, who says that some drivers have no problem staying calm, cool, and collected behind the wheel, regardless of traffic, the antics of other drivers, or road nuances. But others can't help to feel like they're going to explode. Yeah, I'm not joking here. 11 drivers were monitored during a series of half-an-hour drives along the same route in the same minivan. Researchers found that about half the drivers showed peak stress during moments of commonplace acceleration, like stopping at a red light. The other drivers stayed calm. The scientists coined the term accelerousal to describe stress provoked by acceleration events, even small ones. They say that some people may genetically be predisposed to experiencing accelerousal. Accelerousal participants were also found to be much more exhausted after driving than other drivers. But I think that the term is so interesting on how they're changing it. Accelerousal in regards to that. So we're talking now about a versionality of road rage. I mean, can you imagine automatically being inside of it if you have a job where you have to drive inside of your work, not to your work, but part of what you do is driving. And all of a sudden you get pulled into the office and you're not familiar with the term. And somebody says, hey, you've been pulled in to the HR department because of accelerousal. I mean, what the hell are you going to say there? You might have some questions, that's for sure, as we do go through it. So it's not that I'm prone to road rage, me personally. It's just that all those idiots that drive as if they have absolutely no destination in mind, that's the stuff that drives me crazy. Apparently, it comes to us just from feeling the right being seen inside of a minivan. That could be another portion on why you end up dealing with it. But taking all the joking aside from this one, as we are talking about this, here's some other things to think about context-wise. The road rage portion does play into a factor inside of people's work. I mean, it just does, because think about it, the portion of how people get so bothered sometimes on when they have to drive to sections or do other things. But here's the thing. We look at driving most of the times as, when we talk about it, as one process. Think about it, even if you're talking about accelerousal. But you think about it mostly as one process. So if I tell you that I'm going to drive from here to your house, I don't know where the hell your house is. I'm just saying your house. But there's all these different nuances that I'm doing through the whole process. I mean, I have to leave the studio. Then from the studio, I have to leave the area where it's actually located. There's stop signs, there's stop lights, there's yield signs, there's things that can happen inside of the roadways. There are other drivers. But when I told you that, it is one thing. But I have to make all these little minor adjustments as I'm going through the process. So it's really not one thing that I'm doing. It's a whole bunch of different and small ones, which could lead, it could be tens, 50s, thousands, hundreds, whatever, of different moves to be able to get through it. Because if you're doing the whole process correctly, I'll pretend here like I'm looking at the camera if you're on the streamer. So I'd be looking here to look at my mirror, to look at my other mirror, to look at my other mirror. Okay, and then I'm doing that sequence, but I'm also looking at the road and verifying that all the things that are going on. So there's so many different minor moves that are going before I actually get to the end occasion of what the hell I'm trying to accomplish. And that's what we tend to forget about. So the accelerousal portion that the University of Houston is coining, yeah, it is a real thing. Yes, it is for some people like myself to chuckle and make fun of, because this was actually hitting airwaves all over the place as it was being talked about. But how do you handle road rage? I will tell you, I have been on phone calls with people that are supposedly speaking without or with a headset or whatever, even though they shouldn't be talking at the time. And all of a sudden you get the F-bomb automatically, and you're like, what did I just say? And then you come to the realization that they're all like, oh, I'm sorry, I'm driving with the person in front of me. And I mean, it'll be a normal, totally calm conversation, and all of a sudden it's like, and you're like, what the hell just happened here? So that's the thing. So how do you look at this? Do you think that if the study was based inside of what you were doing, would you be a portion of the people that lost it inside of the minivan? And if not, would you be part of the group that's cool, calm, and collective? I will tell you, I would probably not be the cool, calm, and collective, just kind of the way that it goes sometimes, depending on what's going on inside of the world around me. I also probably wouldn't be caught driving a minivan because I'm not a big fan of them. Not that I drive anything that's not minivan-like-ish, but just something to think about. So there you go. Now you have something new, Accelerousal. Doesn't it sound wrong? But there you go. I can only give you information about what is being presented by the University of Houston. I don't know about Accelerousal. I know about road rage. But then again, what do I know? Just a guy behind a microphone.
Oops! What did he just say?
We at Safety FM don't always agree with the viewpoints of our hosts and guests.
Now back to real safety talk on Safety FM.
Welcome to Calvin's Barbershop.
You all got to see this.
I don't even want to know what you're looking at on that phone.
Well, you should. I was learning about the dangers of high blood pressure and that we need to get ours checked regularly. High blood pressure can increase the risk of heart attack or stroke, but this text program can help keep it at a healthy range. Just text Barbershop to 97779 to sign up.
I'll get right on it as soon as I'm done with this baby panda video.
Text Barbershop to 97779. A message from the American Heart Association and the Ad Council.
Dear John, I'm leaving. Uncontrolled high blood pressure is serious, and I can quit whenever I want. Why can't we get back to when you checked on me? I don't want to leave, but remember, when I quit, you quit. Sincerely, your heart.
Listen to your heart and don't let it quit on you. High blood pressure can lead to a stroke, heart attack, or death. Get yours to a healthy range today. For help keeping yours at a healthy range, text PRESSURE to 97779. A message from the American Heart Association, the American Stroke Association, and the Ad Council.
WWE superstar Alberto Del Rio. Take one.
Behold the angry giant.
Try it again, Alberto.
Behold the angry giant.
Perfect. Good luck tonight.
Behold the angry giant.
Yay! Read me another one, Dad.
This is WWE superstar Alberto Del Rio. It only takes a moment to make a moment. Take time to be a dad today.
Visit fatherhood.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
It may be hard to believe, but people just like you are already saving money. FeedThePig.org makes it easy. Their simple savings plan teaches you how to start saving without going overboard, so you don't need to sell all your belongings and live in a commune.
These dungarees belong to all of us now, Tom.
You don't need to get a second job as a stuntman.
We need a new stuntman.
You just need feedthepig.org. Don't get left behind. Get tips and tools at feedthepig.org. Brought to you by the American Institute of CPAs and the Ad Council.
So for years, I have been telling you how I sleep so miserably at night, but that has all changed as of recent, and let me tell you why. Let me tell you about my friends at Helix Sleep. Helix Sleep has a sleep quiz that takes just about 2 minutes to complete and matches your body type and sleep preferences to the perfect mattress for you. Why should you buy a mattress made for someone else? With Helix, you're getting a mattress that you will know will be perfect for the way you sleep. Everybody is unique, and Helix knows that. So they have several different mattress models to choose from. They have a soft, medium, and firm mattress. Mattress is great for cooling you down if you sleep hot. And even at Helix Plus mattresses for plus-size sleepers. I took the Helix quiz, and I was matched with the Helix Midnight Luxe mattress because I wanted something that felt soft. And I sleep on my side. It was such a different approach and exactly on how I was able to sleep. I love it. It's a huge upgrade from what I had before, that's for sure. The kids love it, even though they shouldn't be jumping on my bed, but that's a whole other story. And my wife loves it, which is important. So if you're looking for a mattress, you just take the quiz. You order the mattress, and you're matched to it. And the mattress comes right to your door, shipped for free. You don't even need to go to the mattress store again. Helix is awesome, but you don't need my word for it. Helix was awarded the #1 overall mattress pick of 2020 by GQ and Wired Magazine. Just go to helixsleep.com/safety. That's helixsleep.com/safety. There, take the 2-minute sleep quiz, and they'll match you up with a customized mattress that will give you the best sleep of your life. They have a 10-year warranty, and you get to try the mattress for 100 nights, risk-free. They'll even pick it up if you don't love it, but you will. Helix is offering up to $200 off of all mattress orders and 2 free pillows for our listeners at helixsleep.com/safety. That's helixsleep.com/safety for up to $200 off and 2 free pillows. Don't forget to tell them that Jay Allen sent you. Oh, there you go. Here we go. 40 minutes past the top of the hour. Full for my conscience. Yeah, this is Giant Nest. So this song's readily available on Spotify and iTunes. Appreciate being allowed to use this one today. Accelerousal. There you go. Oh, let's continue down the path here, talking some more about some other things going on inside of the world. Anyways, cookout, lookout. There you go. Summer has unofficially begun with the pandemic measures begin to relax in many places. A lot of us are looking forward to some barbecue season with great relish. Yeah, you heard me correctly there. But there is one thing that you need to know. Before you go chomping down on some corn on the cob, the U.S. Department of Agriculture has released a warning saying that there is one thing in particular that you should not eat. Yes, I said not. If you see at a barbecue, perishable foods that have been out for more than an hour. Quote, when a temperature is outside rise above 90 degrees Fahrenheit or 32 degrees Celsius, perishable foods such as meat and poultry, dips, and cold salads are cut fruits and vegetables are only safe to sit on a table for about 1 hour. It states that after about an hour, harmful bacteria, which can cause foodborne illnesses, may start to grow. So maybe think twice before grabbing that second hot dog, or if you're not sure how long it's been out there, it's not on the grill. So hold on. So there you go. So hold on. One thing. So 1 hour after it's been cooked and sitting in about a 90 degrees weather, so definitely don't move to a warm place. That's something to think about. Just kidding. No, just ignore that last comment for sure. Oh, don't worry. I'm pretty sure that hot dogs are imperishable, so that's one thing. In an hour, obviously the USDA is now familiar with my family. Of course, if my wife made a potato salad, no one would know the difference. Just saying. Don't shoot the messenger. Don't share the message with her.
We at Safety FM are not responsible for what this idiot behind the microphone is saying. He is trying to be entertaining. Rated R Safety Show.
Okay, so here's some other ones going on. Bidding for your chance to ride in Jeff Bezos' Blue Origin spacecraft has now reached $2.8 million since May the 5th. 5,200 people have bid for the opportunity to secure one seat aboard the new Shepard as it flies its first astronaut crew to space. What exactly would that kind of money get the winner? According to the Blue Origin website, most of your experience during the flight will be liftoff, re-entry into the atmosphere. The time on the ship spends about like the Kármán line. The altitude where space begins is little less than a minute, and then weightlessness occurs for about 3 minutes before you will have to rebuckle for re-entry. For the rest of your experience, you'll be buckled in along with 5 other professional crew members, but the ship is designed with space tourism in mind. In each reclining seat has a massive 3-foot tall window the tablet-sized screen that will also will let you see flight info. There's also an option to talk to the ground control. The auction ends on June the 12th at the current bid of $2.8 million. It could cost the auction winner about $4,242 for every second of the 11-minute flight set to go out on July the 20th. If you're interested in more information, you can always go to blueorigin.com. That's blueorigin.com. Yeah, just told you that out loud. I'm not sure if I'd want to fly on a spaceship made by a dude who drivers can't even find my house. I mean, that's maybe one thing to think about. Hey, if Bezos' former wife were the winning bidder, would that make her his SpaceX? Oh, who writes this stuff?
You are listening to a radio god. What? This has to be an error. That host is not a radio god. Anyways, this is the Rated R Safety Show on Safety FM.
Okay, so let's talk about it. It's finally about to happen. Disneyland is getting set to charge $100 for a sandwich. Yeah, not a joke here. The family-sized pumpkin is made to feed 6 to 8 people, and the price clocks in officially at $99.99. The giant meal will be sold at Test Kitchen, opening on Friday, a restaurant located at the Avengers campus. The Big Bite is supposed to emulate the life of the teeny superhero Ant-Man at Test Kitchen. The soda is gigantic, and the condiments are even bigger. Starving patrons can chop down on the salami, rosemary, ham, provolone, and sun-dried tomatoes spread across the toasted bun. A solo version of it will run you about $14.50. There's also a shrunken child-sized version of the teeny mini for about $10. So there you go. If you're going to be hanging out at the Disneyland, yeah, that's the one in California, just in case, you can go do that stuff and have all kinds of fun if you're so inclined to do so. Anyways, let's continue talking about some other things going on real quick. Texas Governor Greg Abbott has no patience for Democrats in the legislature who blocked an election reform bill by walking out of the chamber instead of voting. Abbott has announced that he'll veto part of the budget that funds the legislature and in turn their staff salary. So there you go. While the session formally ended on May the 31st, it's expected that Abbott will convene a special session to get other priority legislation finished. So there you go. Okay, that's enough. That's enough stuff from the swamp. Okay, no winner for Saturday night's Powerball drawing. Tonight's drawing will be for $268 million jackpot or $140.2 million cash payout. So there you go. Some interesting stuff going on there for sure if you like to play the game. If you don't like to play, well, it's not that interesting. So there you go. What else do we have going on inside of here? So let's talk about some other stuff real quick. Sports real quick. Chuck Liddell has been tapped to referee Lamar Odom and Aaron Carter's epic boxing match. The UFC legend told TMZ that there will be violence. Yeah, as he plans to let the boys duke it out in the ring. The match set for June the 11th at the Showboat Casino in Atlantic City. Is that something you're going to want to watch? I don't know. I'm just asking. The Packers would be open to trading Aaron Rodgers if and only if they believe that he was truly committed to never playing for them again. A source told The Athletic. Rodgers has skipped the OTA practices, and many believe that he will not show up for mandatory minicamp on June the 8th with the risk of incurring a $93,085 fine. If the Pack decide to trade Rodgers, they'll free up about $16.05 million in salary cap. So there you go. Some news there if you're so inclined on knowing some of the stuff that's going on inside of the sports world. So let's talk about this real quick. Let's talk about some things that happened back on this date. We'll do 3. We're going to do 3. Boom, 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 boom. Here we go. Back in 2004, Ken Jennings begins his 74-game winning streak on Jeopardy! He would finally lose, leaving him only $2,520,700 in November of that year. In 2020, he went on to win Jeopardy! Greatest of All Time tournament. In 2017, Wonder Woman, directed by Patty Jenkins, earns $100 million domestically in its opening weekend. The box office hit set new domestic record for a female director. And then back in 2020, the UK COVID-19 deaths surpasses 50,000. So that happened back on this date, back in 2004, 2017, and 2020. So there you go. Let's talk about some birthdays that are going on today, because these are always important. So let's go through them. Dominic Cooper turns 43. Nikki Cox. Oh, Nikki Cox on Happily Ever After. It's been such a long time since I heard that name. 43. Professional wrestler AJ Styles turns 44. Zachary Quinto turns 44. Wentworth Miller turns 49. Wayne Brady turns 49. Andy Cohen turns 53. And Charlie Watts turns 80 today. If you want to know about some days of the year that you can celebrate today, let's talk about those real quick. National Rotisserie Chicken Day. National Rocky Road Day. National Bubba Day. Yeah, I did say that. Bubba Day. National First Ladies Day. And National Leave the Office Early Day. Hold on. If you work from home, how do you leave? Do you leave to go back to your same place? I mean, it's kind of a weird one there. But if it's a national holiday, I think you should celebrate them. Just don't get your ass fired by doing so. So maybe we should talk about a little bit more of this. Let's talk about Bubba Day real quick. Honoring those familiar named or just normally called Bubba. We're betting that most of them live in Dixie. A quick search of the famous Bubbas revealed that the top 12 are nicknamed rather than born with the name Bubba, including President Bill Bubba Clinton, Charles Bubba Smith, Police Academy, and golfer Jeremy Bubba Watson Jr., and of course, the infamous radio host, depending on how you look at him. I like the guy. Bubba the Love Sponge, Tom Clenn. So there you go. Some things to think about real quick. If you hang out on our Twitch channel, we do host some of his stuff, just so you know, inside of there. So there you go, if you want to know that information. I got Rocky Road Day also saluting the ice cream flavor that was made with chocolate ice cream, nuts, and marshmallows as immortalized by Weird Al Yankovic in his Joan Jett I Love Rocky Road. Anyways, let me get out of that, because I can sit here and tell you all kinds of weird stuff that's going on there. Anyways, let's talk about some whack facts, because that's always important. So let's go through those real quick. The producer's first choice to play the role of Dirty Harry was Frank Sinatra, not Clint Eastwood, just in case. 17-year-old Bill Gates sold his first computer program to his own high school for $4,200. People are typically perceived as more attractive when they tilt their heads. A pound of potato chips costs about 200 times more than a pound of potatoes. Baby Robbins eats about 14 feet of earthworms every day. There you go. An ancient Rome woman dyed her hair blonde with pigeon poop. How the hell did they even come up with that? Oh, that's a question to ask.
Listen at your own risk. Rated R Safety Show.
Okay, 52 minutes past the top of the hour. And as we are hanging out here talking about all kinds of stuff, and, you know, we're born for this.
During these unprecedented times, most of us don't want to speak up or rock the boat. We don't want to seem as if we're insensitive or selfish. And others take these times as an opportunity to be reckless and even negligent. Don't be taken advantage of. Wrong is wrong no matter what else is going on in the world. And if you need help, reach out to real trial lawyers. We'll be there to right the wrongs. Feiger Law. I was born for this.
Oh, there you go, Feiger Law. I was born for this.
We at Safety FM are not responsible for what this idiot behind the microphone is saying. He is trying to be entertaining. Rated R Safety Show.
Okay, so let's start talking about the most important part that I'll talk about during the whole show, and that's this part right here. So thanks for sticking around to take a listen to this. Let's talk about my friends at the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention. Not a joke here. Know that you are not alone. Whether you have struggled with suicide yourself or have lost a loved one, know that you're not alone. Hear about personal experiences from people in your local communities whose lives have been impacted by suicide and depression. Go to their website, afsp.org. That's afsp.org to find out more information. Or you can call 1-800-273-TALK. That's 1-800-273-TALK. Or you can text the word TALK, T-A-L-K, to 741-741. All joking aside, besides whatever the hell we ever have going on inside of this show, know that we can't do what we do without you. There's only one person that can play your role, and that's you. So, if you're contemplating suicide or you're struggling with depression, before you do anything next, go to this website, call the number, or text. I want you to be able to find resources that are available in your local community and be able to have this discussion. Because it's so important what you do. Seriously, and nobody can do what you do. Unless, I'm going to be honest here. I always try to be as honest as possible. Life isn't perfect. You know that, and I know that. But it's a discussion that we should have ongoing. If you want to even be able to help others, this is a great website to go to. And believe me, I'm not paid to talk about their website. This is not a sponsor or anything to that extent. This is something that I believe in, and I think that it's so important. So this is why you hear me talk about how I get flustered about focus months. No, this is something that we should focus on all the time. So, if you need assistance because you're struggling with this, afsp.org, or call 1-800-273-TALK, 1-800-273-TALK, or text the word TALK to 741-741. That is not a joke at all. Seriously.
This show is almost as enjoyable as hearing the sound of the toilet flush. Rated R Safety Show on Safety FM.
Okay, so as we're getting towards the top of the hour, it is 55 minutes past. Let me give you some other stuff going on real quick. Let me give you some scoops of BS. Let's call it that way. Reports say that 2 in 10 people find their dream job after college. Look on the bright side. Thanks to the remaining 8, we will have places to hang out called bars. Scientists say that if you feel the urge to pass gas on a plane, you should go ahead and do it. I've never heard that before, but apparently everyone who's ever sat in front or behind me or next to me has. Law school's applications have fallen to an all-time low. Well, I'm sure that this news doesn't mean that we may one day have to live in miserable backward country, but where we can start to file a $50 million lawsuit because our coffee was too high. Thought of the day, there are 2 ways of being rich. One will have you all that you want, and the other one is to be satisfied with all that you have. Of course, you should also be a daughter of Kris Jenner. Okay, just saying. Fact of the day, here you go. Seahorses mate for life, and when they travel, they hold each other's tails. That's just an amazing said no married man ever. Ow, I'm going to get in trouble for that one.
You are listening to something magical. You're listening to the Rated R Safety Show.
Okay, so here we go. If you need a phone starter for today, try this one. Without revealing your age, what's something you remember that if you told a younger person, they wouldn't understand? Okay, go with that one. If you need a random joke for the day, do this. Do UK websites use biscuits instead of cookies? If you need something for the water cooler, try this one. Women find men about 3 times more attractive if they have this. What is it? Manicured nails. Yeah, I said that. Think about that for a second. Anyways, you've been listening to the Rated R Safety Show exclusively on Radio Big and SafetyFM.com. That's RadioBig.fm, just in case you didn't know that. And SafetyFM.com. Keep in mind, Safety FM has multiple apps where you can actually download the streaming platform of the radio station. And we are streaming stories, shows, 24/7 with about 20 different hosts. There's actually more hosts than that because some of the shows have 2 hosts. I think we have like 25 hosts. But there you go. We stream safety stuff all day. RadioBig.fm is our radio side where we play music, where you come hang out on that one as well. That's RadioBig.fm. I'll be going over there at the top of the hour here, just as we're ending this side and moving over there. But if I could leave you with a thought for today, I would love to leave you with this one. A true sign of intelligence is not knowledge, but imagination. think about how far you can go with imagination. Something to think about. Should I want to become an Imagineer now? Anyways, that's it. That's it for today. Thank you for taking a listen. Hopefully I'll be back tomorrow, depending if I survive this class tonight. I know who you are. You know who I am.
Duh.
Love you, mean it, and goodbye. I'll see you at the top of the hour if you come over to radiobig.fm.
The views and opinions expressed on this podcast are those of the host and its guest and do not necessarily reflect the official policy or position of the company. Examples of analysis discussed within this podcast are only examples. They should not be utilized in the real world as the only solution available, as they are based only on very limited and dated open source information. Assumptions made within this analysis are not reflective of the position of the company. No part of this podcast may be reproduced, stored in a retrieval system, or transmitted in any form or by any means, mechanical, electronic, recording, or otherwise, without prior written permission of the creator of the podcast, Jay Allen.